Hi everyone, welcome to the LTL podcast. Today we're talking about consistency on episode 4 of the Training Blueprint series. Now we're going to go through 5 points today. Point 1 is all or nothing mindset. Point 2,
expecting immediate results.
Point 3 is losing motivation when progress slows. Point 4,
comparing yourself to others on social media.
And point 5 is overcomplicating your plan. So we're going to deconstruct these today a little bit for you. We're going to start with point number 1, which is the all or nothing mindset. When it comes to all or nothing mindset, it's leading you astray. You don't need to always be all in. Sometimes you just need to do 5% in a day. You need to just maybe take your lunch to work. The next day, maybe you need to take your lunch to work and bring your training clothes. Another day could be have more water on top of that, right? You don't have to just have training, your food, your water, your supplements, all in a day if that is not who you are already. It needs to be slowly stacked for some people, and I would say majority of people will get overwhelmed when they start something that they haven't before. Gym goers who have done this before, you won't be overwhelmed. You'll just want to get started and get results, and you'll be like, why isn't it working already? Like, I woke up and I'm still the same weight. Like, oh my gosh, what's happening? You'll be more impatient. That all or nothing mindset, you need to deconstruct it. So there's that element of the all or nothing, and then you've got another part of all or nothing. You have the part where you hate yourself when you haven't done 100%, and you start feeling guilty. You start feeling shame, regret. You're upset at yourself, and you let that one thing, that little bit of inconsistency that you had that day, ruin the entire week. Sometimes your 70% might be really your 100% in the day. I say this to clients, we say this to clients a lot. Sometimes your 50%, your 30% is your 100%, because today you're tired, your energy's gone out the window, you haven't prepped, but you still showed up to gym today. Like, that's still a win. And I think when it comes to consistency, unfortunately, there is that wanting to be perfect. There is an element where a lot of clients come in who just really want it now and want it to be perfect, and it's not always perfect. And that's just life. So the sooner you can get over the fact that, okay, maybe we started Monday a little bit slow, but Tuesday we can come back in and we can still get the job done. You can still do a little bit here. You can still prep. What can you do tonight to help your progress? What can you do, tomorrow to help you facilitate that movement and that growth in consistency?
Something that I also like that Mark said, Mark Toby from Enterprise Fitness, people who have the all or nothing mindset generally will have it all and then quickly not. Like, it's either you have it all,
yeah, that's so
or then you just have none. I think I remember correctly. At least that's what I take from all or nothing mindset as well. So it's just like Raquel said before, if your life isn't doing all these different things to get your goal, then have a look at what you can change. Maybe you can't change them all at the same time, because that can be overwhelming, and then therefore it's just not sustainable. Look what you can change and what is realistic to you, rather than thinking, you know what, I have to go all deep this 1 week, and you're going full throttle at it. Like, you're going ham 1 week, you're working out heaps, your diet's on, but that's not realistic to you. And then the next week, oh gosh, no, how can I keep this up? It's about longevity at the end of the day. How can you keep it up?
Yep.
It's not a challenge.
Which is a big element and value of Ladies That Lift, is that sustainability factor. Like, the clients that come to us, we always ask them, or at some point, it might have been the first session, it might have been the second, but what do you envisage after 12 weeks? Like, who is she showing up as? And like, how can we start implementing that today? In 12 weeks time, Dee might want to say to herself, stop saying to herself, I feel XYZ, and reframe it to something more positive. I don't have a perfect example on top of my head right now, guys, but I do think, like, you need to see the behaviors that haven't worked in the past, because the all or nothing literally is just a facade. It's a facade to take you nowhere. It's not a plan. It's not a fucking plan. Do you want to go through
the next one?
Number 2?
Yeah, I suppose that ties in with expecting immediate results. Things take time. Progress takes time. That's why I feel like having such a well thought out plan where, just say if your goal is weight loss, you can set a plan in place, you know, in XYZ amount of time, I want to lose this amount of weight, and then you have a marker to work by, rather than starving yourself, burning yourself out with workouts and doing all this extreme approach because you just want the results now. And I think that directly goes back to our first episode on goals, where you can't always just think about the have. You have to do and be that person in order to get that result. So if you feel like, no, I'm going to go balls deep and just go hammer and tong and think I'm going to get the results, you're going to fall on your ass at some point. You know, I know it sounds mean to say, but it's not what you can keep up. So
yeah, there's very few people who can go all in and like say, I'm going to do this, I'm going to run the 10K marathon, I'm going to do this, and they just put their mind to it and they actually do it. There's a really rare scenario, 1 or 2% of people are like that, where they just go into it, they throw themselves in and they do that. And I think just tying into point 2, which was about the immediate results, majority of us are not that 1 or 2% people. Majority of us need to play the long game. And at the end of the day, your goals, it can be a bit of a game. You can hit a certain point, a milestone, and celebrate it, right? In a game, there's milestones you hit, right? Whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, or board game, there's a milestone in the game where you hit and you celebrate it. Yes, I got this much. I got these many houses. I unlocked these many chests or whatever, in the game sense. So with your goals, you can celebrate those small wins, and that might make you more consistent. So have some patience. I think if there's anything you take away from point 2, try slow down. You don't have to have it yesterday. And there's a reason why the journey is really important in achieving your goals, because if you just got everything like that, then would it really matter? Would it really be impactful? The thing with weight loss, and we see this a lot of clients who come in who just end up taking the route of having weight loss drugs, there is that satisfaction when the weight comes off. And I'm sensitive to the fact that most people who are on the weight loss drug are using it for most of them are using it for a real issue in their weight. They're struggling. And it does cut that food noise. You hear a lot of them say it cuts that appetite food noise, which is great. The problem is what happens after it's done. So I understand anyone who is on it, I would highly recommend to work with a trainer and have the trainer who understands and can appreciate that, okay, you're on it, and not degrade you for it. But we need to work with it, and we need to build some muscle and still maintain some of your protein whilst you're using this, because it is a very serious thing. And there are a lot of cases against these drugs, and there are a lot of serious scenarios. So I would highly, highly, highly recommend to be patient. There is reward at the end of the day. And I think when it comes to the journey, yeah, it's just a slow process. It's not always fast. Yeah. What's our point number? Oh, you're going to add some more.
Well, I was going to say the next point is, losing focus when it's kind of slows down or whatnot. But I feel like, again, it always goes back to your plan. You know, if you are doing the bare minimum, we always want to go above the bare minimum. But if you are doing the bare minimum and getting your sessions in, you're sticking to, your adherence to your food plan or however that may look like, and you're doing all the things you need to be doing to get to the direction of achieving your goal, then it will happen. There is, things that happen in life that throw curveballs. Maybe you get injured, or maybe you're working more and you can't get into the gym, but you're still doing what you can. Eventually, it will work out, instead of just being like, it's too hard, see ya.
There is those minimums though. So like, you have your goal, it will, but the minimums are important. Like last week on training, we spoke about minimum 3 times a week of weightlifting. The other nutrition aspect is that you do need to have a plan in place. You can't just one day have the salad and expect to drop all this weight and maintain it. Like, there needs to be that consistency factor happening obviously, if you are struggling to commit to your goal, you need to change the goal. You need to adapt the goal. And the goal might be for the week. The goal might be for the month. Your bigger overarching hairy audacious goal, like that is going to be your big thing that you're working towards. But if you aren't hitting the minimums on that, then yeah, it's probably going to be a lot longer to attain. But as long as you are starting, and as long as you are committing to the starting process, and yeah, maybe it's not 3 times a week, maybe it is 1 time a week of training, and you get a few other walks in, and you eventually adapt to having more, then yes, you will still get to your goal. It's just going to take a lot longer. You can't expect to get goals overnight, and you can't expect that anything less than the minimum in nutritional training is going to get you there faster if you're not doing it. I hope that made sense.
Yeah.
I think point number 5 was overcomplicating the plan. So yeah, I think this whole series, to be honest, has been trying to decomplicate the process for everyone who is watching, and we appreciate all the watchers. So I think just when it comes to a plan, everyone's plan's different, and I said this on our last episode as well. There's going to be another coach out there, another influencer, another expert who tells you, you all need to be doing this, you all need to be eating this, you all need to be training like this, you all need to be sleeping this, whatever. How do you function best? Do you even know how you function best? How many, I was going to say, how many pills are you popping at the moment? Because that can also interfere with how you operate at your normal levels. You know, there is a lot of contraindications with certain medications. So, you know, you need to take a step back when it comes to your process, because the plan doesn't have to be complicated. The goals to get towards your training goals, your body composition goals, the plan's always typically the same. There's nothing new and there's no secret here, but it's tailored to you. How much time are you sleeping a night? How much restful sleep are you getting? Do you have any gut problems? Are you on the pill? What's your period like? What's your energy like? What's your stress like? What's your relationships with other people like? There is so much more where that can become overcomplicating, but it's really not. It's really not rocket science. If you don't have a good gut, then your weight loss journey is probably going to be slow. If you don't sleep a lot, you're probably not going to recover between your training sessions as well. If you don't do enough cardiovascular system training, then you're probably not going to oxidize fat very well. And then your training between sets is going to also be less intense. If you're scrolling on your phone, you're going to dull your aptitude for life. Like, that's just another stat. It's not that complicated. I think everyone's kind of looking for that special case. You might be in that instance a little bit different, but the scenario is typically very similar, and the ebbs and flows of where you fit between that plan will be like this. It might not be super linear. It will change.
Yeah.
And you just kind of roll with it.
Sorry.
That's right.
Yeah. I think as well, like, you know, with not overcomplicating the plan, it's like I think a lot of people try look for a magic answer on how to get there quicker, or not even quicker, but what's the best way to go about it. And because there is so much information out there, it does become confusing, it does become overcomplicated. But if you are consistent through it and you're doing what you need to do, it's the fundamentals here, and then it just becomes a habit. And are you sticking to that habit or are you not? Yeah. And also the fact of, is your goal truly your goal? Because sometimes when things get hard, people are like, oh, nah, that's not really realistic.
Yeah, which is totally different to consistency as well. Because you can't be consistent towards a goal that you don't really align with.
Yeah, exactly. So if it is overcomplicated, is it truly your goal, or are you overcomplicating it in some sort of way, and you're making it think like it's not the goal that you want because things are feeling too hard, but maybe you just need to change some of those lifestyle markers.
Something I would say actually that kills the consistency is the expectations. The expectations of yourself, of what you expected yourself to be at by this amount of weeks, or the expectations that you think other people have of you. So this is why I tell people to stop telling people their goals. Stop telling everyone that you want to lose 10 kilos. I'm going to do it this year. Stop telling people. Like, you need to learn how to get that goal in yourself, because the more times you vocalize it and then don't achieve it, there's an element where you've made feel embarrassed. There's an element where you feel you're dropping your own standards, and then you feel like a disappointment. Don't need to tell anyone that. But you do need to stay true to your word. So if you can tell yourself your goal, whatever, work towards your goal, use our steps, stick to your plan, and prove to yourself that you can do it. Because proving to yourself you can do something also helps your consistency, because you get that motivation boost, you get that self-inspiration, that care. Like, looking after yourself and that being consistent to your goal is self-care. You know, it's less stress. It's something that you're just chipping away at, and you learn so much in the process when you do go up and down towards your goals, which you will. You will. If you can accept that, the sooner you can accept that your consistency is not just going to be like this, it's going to be doom, 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 doom. But ideally, you're going to keep climbing that ladder, as opposed to just like consistently sucking and going down, right? You don't want to do that. You want to consistently work on those speed humps, and sometimes it might not be as big of a drop. Sometimes it might just kind of like this one, and then that one, and this one, and then, but you're still getting higher.
And I think that goes back directly, we spoke about in another podcast about building habits and strengthening that neural connectivity.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, where the more you're doing something, the more that circuit is getting rewarded, and the easier it is to do things. So it's like, if you are, you know, doing all those habits, you're staying consistent at meal prepping or going to the gym, XYZ, to get to your goal. If you do have a moment where it does dip, you've put in so much work and consistency already that it's easier to get back on track. You're not going to be perfect 100% of the time.
Good point.
Yeah.
Really good point.
Yeah, so
nice.
The last one we had was comparing yourself to others.
Oh. You go on that one.
Yeah. Everyone in their journey is on a different journey. So comparison is a thief of joy. That's what they say, hey?
Yep.
So if you're coming into the gym and looking at, oh, wow, she looks amazing, or look how she moves, or wow, look how many weights he's lifting, yada, yada, yada. Everyone is at a different stage in their journey. And if you truly are going to let that get to you, then it is going to seep into your belief system, and you're going to drop off at some point because you don't already have that.
Comparison is a killer. There's no point comparing yourself to someone because you don't know what they're going through. And like, it's easier said than done. Sometimes I do it myself too. I'm like, oh, I wish I looked like this. Or I wish I didn't have this. But at the end of the day, you need to have some sense in yourself to when you're going too far, because you don't know what someone's potentially going through at that time of their life. That might be the worst they've ever felt. Like, we might be idolizing someone who feels the worst they've ever felt, but I mean, we're not going to know that. You know, that's not expected of you. That's impossible as a human. You can't expect to know what somebody else is going through all the time. And two, you don't know what someone's done cosmetically, surgically to look a certain way. I feel like bodies, especially in women, there's a certain idolization of a specific type of body, type of face, type of features. And when you see one type of feature constantly the thing, you think that you need to be like that as well. So I think you need to love yourself first, no matter what case it is, because if you don't love yourself, you will easily be swept with the wind and with everybody else who believe in the trends and who believe in those movements. And you need to have conviction in who you are. It is hard sometimes, like personal story, you know, having curly hair, sometimes I hate it. It's hard to maintain. It's hard to style. I don't know how I'm going to wake up in the morning with hair everywhere. Like, it's annoying. And then, you know, when I straighten my hair, it's so easy to maintain. And I love it. I'm like, oh, God, I can wake up. I know, just brush it and put it together. I feel more put together sometimes. But it doesn't mean that I'm not convicted in this fact that I love my curly hair. I just need to get better at styling it and waking up a bit earlier and doing some different techniques to help just reinvigorate it in the morning. Like, it doesn't change that. It just means you need to change the way you look at it. So I hope that was a good example. Yeah. Do you have any examples, self stories?
Well, I would say some of our clients as well, like when we're demoing exercises or doing a certain movement, they're like, oh wow, how do you do that? Or how do you lift like that? But
I get that all the time. You're show off.
It's even like little stuff that, you know, like a mobility stuff where it's just like, we've been doing it for a longer time and you're still new to this. So if you are still new at something, you're still new at it. Like give it time. Trust the process, and
it'll get there. It'll get there. Like, I think the journey to being positively more healthy will always work if you are learning about yourself and like figuring it all out. It will happen, and just leaning on people that you inspire and that are positive, like us, and people in your circles and networks who give you good information and make you realize that it's all not that bad and life isn't that serious, and your goals can be achieved. We just need to really work at it, and you might need some extra helping hands at times to help you get there. That's it. We hope you like this video. You can like, subscribe, follow on the YouTube channel. You can also find us at LTL_Melbourne at Instagram, and on our website at www.ladiesthatlift.com.au. You can find a free introductory session there too if you're interested in working with us. Thanks so much, everyone.
Bye.